Hey, thanks for joining us today. We're leaving Wyandotte and we've got about almost a 44-mile sail over to Middle Bass Island, which is in the group right around Putin Bay. It's just about right here that our fuel pump goes out and we have to get towed into Middle Bass Island, which creates for some stressful moments, but it's a beautiful area and it's really hard to beat. So hope you like the video. This is the Lonz Winery. Peter Lonz and his son George took this over in 1926. At the time, they were the largest winemakers in the world and continued that way for a really long time. Prohibition came along. The Lonz family survived by selling bottles of grape juice with instructions for fermenting the juice at home on the back of the advertisement for the actual wine that you purchased, or the grape juice as they called it back then. Prohibition got repealed in 1933. George Lonz rebuilt all of the winery complex, began working on this big, gorgeous stone castle-looking facade that you see here. They also built a mansion. We'll go inside the mansion in just a little bit. You can still tour underneath the winery. It's not an operational winery anymore, but you can still tour underneath. The barrels and the cask are still there. There's a lot of the winemaking material still there. They added a marina back in 1926, placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1986. While it was still a winery, there was a collapse of the terrace back in July of 2000. The state of Ohio purchased 124 acres on Middle Bass Island, including the shell of the winery that you see here. You could rent this out for parties, or in this case, a bachelor party. And a bunch of bachelors were up there. The deck collapsed, killed the groom, lots of injuries, really a tragic story, but the state of Ohio took it over and has refurbished it and spent lots of money. This is the inside of the mansion that you can see. The Lonz had no heirs, so when they passed, they just had no one to leave it to. So now you can go in and see. According to the tour that we took, both of them were very prominent musicians. They would invite lots of people over, had big parties, big lavish parties on the grounds here. You'll see in just a little bit. What they used to do is they would host these big giant parties, and since they sold wine and champagnes, people would just throw their bottles out into the water. So one of the pastimes that people do here is they try to find beach glass or sea glass from those parties back in the early 1900s. So this is the boathouse. You can see we're inside the boathouse looking out. Obviously it doesn't operate anymore. No one uses it, but the views were just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Char and I spent a few hours combing for sea glass all along the shore right here. You'll see in just a few minutes. We have all kinds of little teeny tiny pieces of all different colors of sea glass. I'm not sure where we're going to put them on the boat, but we have them. And at one point, Chara came running down the beach saying, "Look what I found, look what I found." And it is the bottom of a champagne bottle, what we assume from the early 1920s, from one of the parties at the Lonz mansion. So hope you enjoy these pics. If you're a fan of history, Putin Bay is definitely a place you want to visit. During the War of 1812, the United States Navy had a base in Putin Bay under a guy by the name of Oliver Hazard Perry. They arrived there in August of 1813. They'd used the island to train and spy on the British. The war had been going on for about 14 months. Detroit had already surrendered to the British. But back on September 13th, 1813, a British captain with a squadron of 6 ships came looking for a fight. And at that day, at about 3 o'clock, Perry, despite being forced to transfer the flag that we now know says, "Don't give up the ship," to transfer over from a badly damaged other ship, they managed to overpower the British that day. The battle resulted in the British ceding control of Lake Erie to the Americans for the rest of the duration of the war. So when you see the sign that says, "Don't give up the ship," this is where it comes from. That war, the War of 1812, is where we get the phrase, "Don't give up the ship." Good morning, everybody. We are just leaving Middle Bass Island. It is a quick 20-mile jaunt over to Huron on the mainland, as they call it. Seems kind of Ohio. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and we're going to see Char's sister and sister-in-law, my sister-in-law. So yeah, so that's where we're headed. And we went to Putin Bay yesterday. What do you think about Putin Bay?
It's pretty wild.
A lot of fun. It is like, if you're from Michigan or know Mackinac Island, it is literally like Mackinac Island on steroids, I would say, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Like a lot of steroids.
A lot of steroids, like tons of bars.
There's nothing quaint about it. So.
No, and it's a good time. It's a really good time. Beautiful, lots of. It's just something you really have to see. I'm glad we stayed on Middle Bass. If you're ever over this way and you're considering where to go, I would definitely say Middle Bass and then take the ferry over. I think it's $10 per person each way, but it's so much better, so much quieter, I'm sure.
And Middle Bass is beautiful. There's a lot of cool things to explore, a lot of history there, and some cool little restaurants that really take you to the Caribbean, even though you're in Ohio.
It's amazing. Like, I've never been, and I'm sure they have these other places, but I've never been to a place where they have pools at the bar or hot tubs, or it's just very different. And these are just bars. Yeah. It's really unique. So, minor issue, we had a fuel pump problem. We changed the fuel pump. Shout out to everybody who helped diagnose and encourage and support us. If you know me, I'm not mechanical by nature, but some really good friends of ours are, and they were gracious with their time, and we're obviously back on the water today. So we're doing about 6 knots. The wind's right on the nose, but it's super light today, so we should be there by, it says, just before 12 o'clock. And we'll get to hang out with Bobby and Heidi tonight, and we'll give you an update from there. All right? See ya.